All right, so ABC, we're on ABC. We love ABC.
Oh, yes.
Shonda Rhimes, we love Shonda Rhimes.
Oh, we do.
If you don't know who Shonda Rhimes is, she is the creator behind Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, Old School, Private Practice, How to Get Away with Murder.
Yes.
She is now leaving ABC for Netflix.
Yep, that's interesting.
Exactly. We've been seeing a lot of movement and shaking and a lot of news around Netflix about what they're able to do, what shows they're picking up, the new wave of television and movies. And also, we heard last week that Netflix is $20 billion in debt.
Yikes.
But Shonda Rhimes is going with it. People are reporting that it's going to be around the same type of deal, so like a 4-year deal. We don't know how much money is on the table, but she was making a lot of money at ABC, so I'm assuming it's going to be a huge package. But this opens up a conversation. You have a lot of shows now that are on cable that are doing extremely well. They're winning awards. They're getting top talent. A lot of them are competing with movies, and you have a lot of movie actors coming over to TV because of that. You have FX, AMC, HBO. Mahershala Ali is doing True Detective season 3. So like, a lot of award-winning actors are switching over. So is the conversation now that network, and I mean ABC, CBS, NBC shows, scripted shows, are they dying? Is this going to be signaling the end of what we know as network scripted drama?
Well, let's think about one of my favorite series on Netflix. Really the first big series I got into on Netflix was House of Cards.
Oh, yes.
And Kevin Spacey was one of the reasons I started watching it. I thought, okay, Netflix doing their own series, how is this going to go? But then when I heard that one of my favorite actors was going to be one of the leading roles on this new show that Netflix was creating as an original series, I thought, well, I should probably give it a shot. I like Kevin Spacey. So then I turned it on. So I think with a name like Shonda Rhimes, she has built such an empire and an empire with all the shows she's had on ABC, which is, it's been great for us on ABC, but she's going to bring all those people with her, I think, to Netflix. And I know they're $20 billion in debt. I'm sure they think, okay, how much was she making at the network level? Can we bring those fans for new subscriptions on Netflix and try to make up the difference? I mean, maybe not all of it right at once, right? But down the road.
Or could this be about money? So let's throw a little wrench in here. When you're on a network television show, there's usually 22 to 24 episodes per season. As an actor or producer, executive producer, you're getting paid per show, per episode. So if you're making the minimum, if you're a new actor, you're getting about $20,000 per episode. Times that by 22. Of course, you got your agent cut, you got your manager cut, you got to pay your lawyer, but that is 22. Now on a cable show, chop that down to 10 episodes. So now you only have to pay people, writers, directors, everybody for the number of episodes that they're doing. So was this about money? Not necessarily creativity, but some do say it's cheaper to do a cable show.
Type show.
Yeah, because there's less episodes.
What sounds cooler though, if you're an actor, you're like, I'm on a Netflix show. Does that sound cooler versus I'm on a CBS or NBC show? If you're a millennial, you're like, oh yeah, Netflix is the way to go. We have all these cool actors on the show. I'm watching the show because of them. And they're like, well, I don't really have cable. I cut cable and I'm going to streaming services. So is it better that Netflix got a hold of her and, you know, she's going to be producing some amazing content for them?
And for me, I do think about the creativity still. It might be a mix of both, Cornelia, but I do think that having, you know, a big name like Shonda Rhimes within the bracket of the broadcast restrictions on a network show, you know, you can't say certain words before 10 p.m. You can't show certain amounts of nudity. On Netflix, it's different.
Do whatever you want.
The restrictions are, you know, kind of null and void in certain situations. And so I think it does allow these writers, producers, directors, and actors to at least have the mindset that they could potentially have a bigger field in which to play, a bigger canvas. Whether or not, you know, more restrictions come down on Netflix down the road because the FCC wants to get involved or whatever. I mean, it's not going over your TV, right? It's not going over a regular television screen. So I don't think that they can have the same restrictions, really.
They just have, more creative freedom. So I think that's good for actors in general.
And does this mean movies? Because again, Shonda Rhimes, there has been rumors that she wanted to get back into film, not just television shows. We see with certain filmmakers, look at Ava DuVernay, she has gotten into the documentary realm. So there's more flexibility in Netflix, just not with scripted television shows.
Right.
Maybe she wants to do another thing. She could even do a talk show. Chelsea Handler has a talk show on Netflix. So there are endless opportunities, but again, we're not really sure why she's leaving ABC or what the deal entails as far as compensation.
Yeah. And I know David put up this comment, Keneally, that I want you to respond to. It says, I doubt we are witnessing the demise of commercial television. There are old folks like me who grew up on it and are still content with it. And you know what? That is so true. And I tried to get my parents to watch House of Cards. And they were like, oh, it's so much work to try to get the remote settings on. And they have it, but it's like, it's another couple of steps that they didn't want to have to do. They wanted to just be able to turn on the TV and change the channel.
Yeah, and I think, too, what has to be pointed out, a lot of the better shows are on some of these streaming platforms. So after a while, it may become a point where people are going to be forced to watch it. Like, if you want to watch the good show, you're going to have to, like, stream it or figure out a way to do it because there's so many things people are missing out on. Like, look at House of Cards, Orange is the New Black. There's a new show on Netflix called Glow. Amazon had, what was the transgender show? What was it? They had that. Then there's The Handmaid's Tale on Hulu. It's just an endless. It's just an endless stream of entertainment.
Yeah.
Well, everything is just becoming more competitive too. So, like you mentioned Hulu, you mentioned all those other streaming services like Amazon. Now each streaming service is becoming more competitive to have the better shows.
Hey, even Facebook is coming up with original content, and they're going to have that Facebook Watch feature coming out to all of our computers here soon. So they're all trying to find a way to make money to stay in the game. Glenn said, is Shonda Rhimes related to Leanne Rhimes?
And pointing out, her shows supposedly that she has on ABC are staying on ABC. So we don't have to, as of now, look for Grey's Anatomy, Scandal, How to Get Away with Murder, and her new shows in the can coming out, because there's a Grey's Anatomy spinoff, and then she has another called For the People, I believe. Those will stay. If I'm not mistaken, as of now, they will stay on ABC.
Okay. Christian Cavallo said, with all the subscriptions Netflix has, I'm curious why they are in so much debt. Are the networks asking too much for their contracts? Perhaps people like Shonda Rhimes leading networks will be a slow shift away from conventional TV. So yeah, I think that Netflix is really hoping that bringing a name like Shonda will help them get out of that debt, but we'll see if it happens. Let us know, though. Are you somebody who's willing to cut the cord entirely and not watch your network shows anymore, or do you feel like you still want to have a mix of both, or are you not on board with Netflix at all? I'm curious to see where people are.
I need a mix of both.
Yeah,
I need both. Yeah,
I do too, just because I feel like I need to stay in the know.
Right.
These girls talking about all these shows.
Yeah, I need to.
Okay.
I need it all.
Can we